Did you just get notified that you didn't get the job? It's kind of a bummer. So, what does it mean? Does a rejection mean that you're not good enough? That is today's topic. Welcome to Ask the Resume Lady, Engineering Edition, your channel for career advice on resumes, interviews, negotiations, and more. Hi, I'm Diane Karszosowski. I'm an engineering professional. I'm a Lean Six Sigma black belt and a certified PMP. I have over 20 years experience in industry, and during that time, I enjoyed mentoring people and helping them to build their confidence and grow in their career by sharing my advice with them. And I'm super excited to be sharing my advice with you here today. If this sounds like something you'd like to see on a regular basis, please subscribe to my channel and click that bell icon so that you get notified each time that I post a new video. All right, let's get to today's topic. In today's video, I want to talk about getting that rejection letter or that rejection phone call. It's not fun, but it's part of life, right? So I want to discuss about the fact that rejection doesn't mean that you're not good enough. It simply means you weren't the right fit, okay? Consider this. When you go shopping, do you buy everything that you see at the store? Probably not. You pass by some things on your way to get the thing that you are looking for. Well, why is that? You didn't pass up those items because they were bad. You simply passed them up because they weren't a match for what you were looking for. They didn't meet the specifications that you need. But once you find that match when you're shopping, you're more than happy to buy it, right? Well, that's very similar to interviewing. When people pass you by, it's not necessarily that there's anything wrong with you. It's just at this time, for this position, you just weren't a match. And that's okay. So I want to take a look at a couple factors as to why they may have passed you by. Some you can control and some you can't control. Here are a couple that you really can't control. Internal candidates. Maybe it turns out that they decided to go with an internal candidate versus you as an external candidate. You really can't control that one, and a lot of times companies will favor or give preference to that internal candidate. Another reason you may not have gotten the position, budget changes. I know I've interviewed with companies before that it was in the government industry, a lot of contract work. Sometimes the contracts don't get renewed or don't get won. Sometimes they try to hire people in anticipation for getting the contract. But then if the contract isn't won, then there's no job for you. And so sometimes you get the call saying, sorry, the position is no longer available. Okay, still outside of your control. Let's talk about lacking experience. Now you're thinking, I applied to the job because I had the right amount of experience. Let's look at the situation of they may have had it listed of 5 to 10 years experience. You have 5, another person had 10, and they decided to go with a person with 10 years experience. See, it's outside of your control. You can't control it, and that's okay. Now here, I want to get into a couple that you can have some control over. You could have not been fully qualified. Maybe you're lacking some skills or some of the certifications that they were looking for. You may have had 70% of what they were looking for, but maybe that 30% were the skills that they really, really, truly needed for you to hit the ground running right away. So in those cases, yeah, that's a little more in your control. And then the last one I want to talk about is poor interviewing skills. It's quite possible that you are super qualified, all the experience, but maybe you're just not able to get that information across during the interview. So maybe that's something you could polish up on too. Ask some friends to help you do a mock interview or something. So how can you deal with this? If these are some of the reasons that you're getting rejected and you're wanting to land a job, here's a couple things. First, don't be so hard on yourself. And what I mean by that is if you start to think like you're not good enough and this is never going to happen, you're going to spiral downward into this very negative place. And what's going to happen is you're going to then just have this negative energy. And so the next time you go to an interview, they'll be able to feel that energy, and you don't want that. You want to go into that interview pumped, ready to explain how you could be a great member of their team. Something else you can do is take a good, honest look at yourself as a candidate. Are there other certifications that you could get? Take some extra online courses, polish up on your interview skills. So yeah, take a look at yourself. Another thing to do, learn from this experience. From that interview, when you leave the interview, think about the goods and the bads. This went well, this didn't go so well. Make note of the questions that maybe stumped you, and then work on better answers for that, so that the next time you go into an interview, you can ace that question. Something else is, you may want or feel like, well, I'm not succeeding, this isn't working, I'm just going to stop, I'm going to stay where I'm at. Don't do that. And actually, you have to do the opposite. You have to now put out more resumes, more applications, because the job is out there. You just have to touch more opportunities. The more you touch, the higher the chance that you're going to find the right one, and sooner too. I love this. Jobs are like buses. Another one is coming. So even though you had that interview, it didn't go well, get out there again, get some more interviews. The job you need is coming. It's on its way. And my final thing I want to talk to you about, or to state, is look at rejection not as being rejected, but redirected. Maybe you weren't supposed to be at that location or that city. Maybe you weren't supposed to be with that company. Take this as it just wasn't meant to be, and keep going and into a new direction. All right. I hope you found value in today's video. If you need additional information on interviews, negotiations, and resumes, please check out these videos here. And also, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe here. And as I always leave you, think confident, act confident, be confident.